In this video, I'm going to show you what PID tuning is, why you should care about it, and of course, how to do it on your 3D printer. What is PID? PID stands for proportional, integral, and derivative. These are terms used in programming that we don't particularly need to understand, but it does help to know what they control in our 3D printers. These three factors are used in a feedback loop to control a sensor, like our hot end thermistor, and an actuator, like our hot end heating element. The heating element heats up and the thermistor measures that temperature so that the control board can try and get your hot end to the correct temperature and keep it there. All pretty simple stuff so far. If your control board wants your hot end to be at 200 degrees, it'll allow current to flow to your heating element. Your heating element gets hot and heats up your heat block until the thermistor tells the control board that 200 degrees C has been reached. The control board stops the current flowing to the heating element and it sits at 200 degrees, right? Wrong. If the element keeps heating at full power until 200 degrees and then turns off, the heat will actually continue to rise by a few degrees. The same thing happens when the temperature drops below the target temperature. The heat comes back on, but there is a delay, meaning that the temperature drops below 200 while everything warms back up. The whole process would then repeat with the temperature constantly fluctuating above and below your target temperature. Have you ever been a passenger in a car with somebody who is constantly either hard on the accelerator or hard on the brake? They can never actually maintain the speed they want, and you get a sore neck in the process. What good drivers learn to do is change the amount of throttle or gas they apply as they reach their target speed. Also, if they overshoot, rather than just slamming on the brakes, they'll decrease the power more so their speed reduces a little. When they're nearly down to the correct speed, they'll gently increase the power so that the target speed is reached and a balance is maintained. This is the same job the PID loop is doing with the temperature for your hot end and heated bed if you have one. The P is looking at how far you are from your target temperature and trying to react. The I is making slow adjustments when you're very close, and D is predicting what the temperature will get to when P and I make their changes and adjusting for them to compensate so you don't overshoot again. So now we know what a PID feedback loop does. Why would we need to change it? If you have a 3D printer running all the standard parts as it came from the manufacturer and you only ever print with PLA, then it's unlikely that you'll need to change your PID tune, as it will have been supplied with settings that will work for most people. However, my Ender 3 version 2 is completely standard except for an uprated Banggood tube, and I still saw some benefit from a PID tune on both my hot end and my heat bed. If you've changed any component that might change how something heats up, then I would definitely advise doing a PID tune. With a hot end, this could be any one of the components, even including the nozzle if there's a big enough change to material or even hole size. With the bed, even a change in print surface can affect the PID tune. And of course, being the brains behind the operation, if you change your firmware, your PID tune will need running again. Why is this? If we come back to our driving analogy, it's easy to see that the way we control the power would need to change whether we're driving a heavy or light car, whether we've got a powerful or not so powerful engine, or if we're driving up or down a hill. The same is true for our 3D printer. Different heating elements will change how fast the hot end can heat up. And other parts like a heatsink or a cooling fan will change what inputs are needed to maintain the temperature we want for printing. Different target temperatures can also have an effect on the PID tune, so if you regularly find yourself printing with PETG or ABS, you may want to do a PID tune for these higher temperatures. Using the process I'm about to describe, you can check your current settings, run the auto tune feature, and then decide whether you want to change them or not. So how do you know if your PID tune needs calibrating? The simplest way to know is to watch the temperature display on your printer as it heats up. If your printer takes a long time to get up to temperature, overshoots the target, or fluctuates by more than a degree or two, then you'll probably see a benefit from a PID tune. You may also see evidence of a bad PID tune in print results. I've intentionally set bad PID settings for this print to give you an idea of what you might see. If your hot end temperature continually fluctuates, then your filament extrusion will vary and you'll most likely see banding like this. In extreme cases, a bad PID tune on your bed can actually cause a print to release before it's finished. So how do we do it? If your printer uses Marlin firmware, then you're in luck. Marlin has an automatic PID tune feature that you can run by sending your printer some specific G-code commands. Sending these commands to your printer is simple if it has a USB port like this Ender 3. You'll need to connect to a computer and have some software that's capable of communicating with your printer. There are a few options for software, but by far the simplest is Pronterface. This is free open source software available from the download link in the description below. Scroll to the bottom and download the correct version for the computer you're using, then extract the files in the zip folder to somewhere on your hard drive where you'll know where to find it. If you're using Octoprint, then you can use the terminal tab in your UI to input these commands rather than using Pronterface. Turn your 3D printer on and remove any filament. Connect your printer and computer with a USB cable and then launch the Pronterface application from where you just extracted it to. From the drop down at the top, you should be able to select the port that your printer is connected to and hit connect. If it doesn't connect, then try a different port until you find the correct one. Once you're set up and connected, expand the terminal section on the right and then send the following codes to your printer using the command bar at the bottom. First, type in M503 and hit send. This tells the printer to report back all of its current settings. The settings we're interested in are the PID settings towards the bottom. There's a line of PID settings for each part of your printer that is heated. In my case, I have one hot end and one heated bed. Therefore, the ones starting with M301 are my current hot end PID figures, and the M304 line is for my heated bed. If you have more than one hot end, then you'll have another line here. Make a note of any figures here now before changing anything. Tell your printer to run its part cooling fan at full speed so that you don't get any fluctuations in temperature when your cooling fan comes on during a print. Do this by typing M106 space S255 and hit send. Next, to tell the printer to run the auto tune feature, type M303 space, then type E0, which specifies extruder 0. If you only have one extruder or hot end, it should be 0. If you have more than one, then the number will change for each one. After another space, type S, and then the temperature you want the PID tune to run at. I want mine to run at 220 degrees, so I'm typing S220. After a space, type C, and then the number of times you want the printer to cycle through the auto-tune sequence. The more you do, the more accurate the information, but more than about 5 won't do much. I want to do 5, so I'm typing C5. Click the send button to send the command to the printer, and then PID auto-tuning will begin. The printer will now heat your hot end up to the target temperature before cooling a little, and then repeating the process 5 times. When it's done, you'll see the PID auto-tune finished message with the results beneath. At this point, you can compare your current figures that you wrote down and the new ones that the auto-tune feature is suggesting you run. If you don't want to change anything, just click disconnect at the top. If, however, you do want to use the suggested new figures, and I don't really see why you wouldn't, then we'll need to input them back in and save them. You can use this same command to re-input your old figures back in later if for some reason you don't like the change. To input new PID figures, type M301 space P, then the value next to KP above. Leave a space before I, then your KI value, and the same for D as shown here. Click send to send the command. You've now told your printer the new values, but you still need to save them to wherever the printer saves its configuration. On the Ender 3 version 2, the configuration is saved on the SD card, but many printers will save them to the control board. This may sound like a minor difference, but if you have one of these printers, you need to be careful not to format your SD card or switch to another SD card without also copying some of the files across. To save the new PID values, type M500 and click send. Your new hot end PID settings are now saved and ready to use. If you want to PID tune the bed, then type the following slightly different commands. M303 space E-1 space S60 for 60 degrees bed temperature, space C5 for 5 cycles if that's what you want, and hit send. When inputting the results, type the same as when you did the hot end figures, but instead type M304 instead of M301. Don't forget to save with an M500 and then check that everything has saved with an M503. With PID tuning now complete, you should see improved heat up times and more consistent temperatures. To improve your printer further by calibrating your E-steps, click here, or click here for another video you might like. Thanks for watching.